had to leave in Sweetwater, Texas. You said you've gone about as far as you could go. You said I can't stand the sight of that highway or the sound of them wheels on the road. Road worn weary, I must take my rest. I can't take no more from this old heart in my chest. Every mile I travel hurts that all bit more. Road worn, weary, and so far from your door. I'm a road worn, weary, and so far from your door. When you gamble, you play what you're given. When you're lucky, you think you can't lose. When you ramble, you always get where you're going. And I'm a rambling, gambling fool. Road worn, weary, I must take my rest. I can't take no more from this old heart in my chest. Every mile I travel hurts a little bit more. Road worn, weary, and so far from your door. I'm a road worn, weary, and so far from your door. Well, it's cold in the heart of West Texas when the winter sends a wind on the house and it freezes the air that you're breathing, but you gotta keep moving somehow. Road worn, weary, I must take my rest. Can't take no more from this old heart in my chest. Every mile I travel hurts a little bit more. Road worn, weary, and so far from your door. I'm road worn, weary, and so far from your door. Hey, I'm road worn, weary, and so far from your door.
Well, it's Wednesday, folks, or Tuesday, or some shit. I don't know. Sundays seem to be fewer and far between. But regardless, you're looking at my fucking smiling face. So you know that means it's time for another exciting, exhilarating motherfucking episode of Gravel Road Therapy with Dogbite Harris. And I'll be your fucking host today. I'm Dogbite Harris. What's up, you fucking fuckers, fuckaroonies? How the fuck are ya? Well, I'm sorry it's been so long since you've seen my smiling face. But most importantly, I'm sorry that it's been so long since I've introduced you to an artist of the week. So, you just witnessed with your ears. Mr. Joe Johnson out of the great state of Colorado. That was Road Worn Weary by him. So, appreciate Joe for submitting a song. Appreciate it, man. I don't know if you hear a bit of the white noise in the background, but it's because I got the car running today because it's hotter than piss. It's got a little AC action going. But yeah, so I'm out here at Willow Creek Reservoir. I've shot a couple things here before. Up top today. I was going to go film in the Heppner Cemetery because like about 9 days ago was the anniversary of the Heppner Flood, and I wanted to do a special on that, and I wanted to go a little more further in depth than I'm going to. I wanted to do some kind of cool stuff, but you know, so I decided to come over here because you know, that cemetery's got a lot of people I know in it, you know, and right now they're about to put 2 more, and that's so there's people out there digging graves, and I didn't want to intrude, or I honestly didn't want to be out there talking to myself on my cell phone while people are trying to work either, you know. So I decided to come over here instead. But a lot of history in that cemetery. Went to my not my first funeral, but the first funeral that I really remember was in that place, and it was awful. It's a town of 1,500 people, so when something happens, it's a bit more intense than, you know, most places. I mean, a lot of you guys that are from small towns probably understand what I'm getting at. You know everybody, and you know, within 1 year we had 3 teenagers die, you know, and one of those gals happened to be my best friend's cousin, and I went to that funeral. She's a couple years older than us, and it was one of the worst things I've ever sat through, you know. Just intense. And I won't go too much into details, you know. It was a car accident. Two of them were a car accident. One was a childhood illness, but yeah, man. But needless to say, you know, the older you get, the more real things get, you know, and when you're young, you kind of look at death as other people's problems, you know. You don't think about it as something you're going to be dealing with later in life with your loved ones and yourself, you know, fuck. And then you really start thinking, fuck, I could go any day, at any time. You don't know when it's coming. You don't know why it's coming. You don't know how it's going to come. But it's coming. It's the only thing certain in life. But on June 14th, 1903, here's another thing that kind of, I was told these stories my whole life. I grew up in this town. And so the older I get, the more I start to really picture, like, what this looked like. It's fucking intense, man. And I'm gonna describe it the best I can. Because for some reason, like, just this year, you know, I've really been thinking about it hard. Because I've really read in detail, like, what happened. And so, where this reservoir is, basically, where I'm sitting at right now, 2 creeks combined. And in 1903, they had a really dry spring. On June 14th, a torrential downpour came in, and the water wouldn't absorb into the ground fast enough because it was so dry. So it flushed down through this canyon, and it brought a 40-foot tall wall of foaming water down through my little tiny town. And my hometown's small. It's Heppner, Oregon. I'll do a little slideshow after I'm done with this to show you guys older pictures and what the town looks like now. Show you the dam that holds the water back and stuff. But, I mean, it's really... You get a good idea. 50 feet of water tore this town apart. There was like 3 or 4 things standing. There's some houses, but all the houses, none of them had foundations at that time, so a lot of them are just destroyed. Because it's 1903, you know? So, it happened just like at 5 p.m. Everybody was settling down from church. It was a Sunday. The second deadliest flash flood in history. Wikipedia says it killed 324 people, but some of the markers around town only say 250. So there's a bit of a weird mix up there. At least 18 people died of typhoid within the year to come from the disease of sewer and crap. They were recovering bodies from the Columbia River, because that's where it finally flushed out at, which is about 40 miles away, 50 miles away. So yeah, and there's 2 guys, Les Matlock and Bruce Kelly, that rode their horses across the hillsides to go try to save the towns. There's a town called Lexington, it's 9 miles away, and they didn't make it there in time, but they made it to the town that I'm currently living at, Ione, and they got most everybody safe in that town, or everybody safe in that town. So, it's just crazy to think about, you know? You think about these people in 1908, and they didn't have phones, didn't have a way to communicate. And this terrible fucking tragedy happened. Fuck, it probably took, you know, at least a day and a half for people to send any kind of help. And this whole town was pitched up with National Guard tents not long after. People from Portland and that area and all over came to help rebuild the town and clean it up. And that's how it was for quite a while. It's quite a sight. There's pictures of it. Some of the earliest photography in this area, really, you know. But, so up in that cemetery, there's a lot of dates on gravestones that say June 14th, 1903. There's also, at the time they were putting the railroad in, they were trying to make Heppner a hub for the eastern side of Oregon, because a lot of the Oregon Trail settlers settled around this area. So they were trying to make this a hub, and they were putting in a railroad, and they had a lot of Chinamen putting in that railroad, and a lot of them fucking died in that flood, and nobody had any idea who they even were. Didn't speak English, you know, they didn't have family around here. They were just here working, and that was probably contributed to 100 of those deaths. There's a mass grave up in the cemetery that doesn't have any names on it for people that nobody could recognize, you know. And you think about that kind of tragedy, and you think about it now, and how fucking scary that is, you know. And you think about, think about how far we've came in technology. You know, we've got phones. We've got things that tell you, you know, we got people monitoring this stuff. We have equipment monitoring this stuff. And we placed this dam here in 1980 to make sure it didn't happen again. So there was a second flood, which was, I don't think anybody died, but it was pretty bad. But they'd had the town set up better foundation on the houses and stuff. And I don't think the wall water was as big, but still fucking fucked shit up. But so they put this dam in to block the water and debris when it comes down, and it's done its job a couple times, man. This year was one of them. Yeah, this year was one of them. So But yeah, if you guys want some more information, Google that. There's some cool little documentary on YouTube that I can I'll post the link to as well. It's kind of a trip. It was recorded in like the 90s, so the old museum lady is on there, and she's passed away, so it's kind of weird. I hadn't even thought about her in years. But she was on there talking about it. But yes, second biggest flash flood in American history, or in history at all, I think. Happened right in my hometown. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of you guys that came to Ruckus, I mean, I think you've read some of the stuff, but I don't know if you know how intense it was. I didn't really either. I mean, I knew a flash flood came in, but I didn't realize a 40-foot high wall of water. That, if you fucking fathom that, that's bigger than the size of a house, pretty much, I think. Or the size of a big one. It's fucking tall. That is a tall, it's like, that's like 6 human beings. At least stacked up, you know? 6, I don't know, I don't even know if that even fucking does it justice, you know? It's insane. 40 feet of water with fucking debris in it, cow shit, human shit, fucking trees, chunks of houses. They say that when you die in a flood, most of the time, you don't die from drowning, you die from getting like blunt force trauma. So, usually get hit with something instead of drowning. But anyways, a little bit of history for you today. I'll show a little bit of a few pictures on here, and then I'll come back and we'll finish it off. I got some political rants to talk about here. I've been saving it for a while. Talk a little bit about the bill HB2020. The state of Oregon and what's going on there. Alright, I'll be back in a few minutes. Alright folks, real quick, I'm going to, since I rotated the camera, you can see that right there is the dam. That's holding all that water back. And that was created to hold back debris and everything else, which has done well a couple times for sure. So, anyways, there's that.
Every time he hears my song, I sold my soul to music, now I'm too far gone.
Alright, you fucking fuckers, I'm back. I hope you enjoyed my little segment on the Heppner Flood. I want to talk a little bit about this bill. I don't even know where to begin. I tried to do extensive research on this, to be honest with you. Everything that I found on the internet is so fucking vague or hard to read, which I think that's a good place to start out. When you're writing a bill that affects a whole state in this country, I think that you should probably make it a little bit more readable for the average person to read. I can't even count how many. I mean, basically, all of the bill that I've seen, it's just terrible to even try to read it. And for most of you guys that know, you're probably like, well, you're a fucking idiot, which is kind of true. But the one thing I can tell you, I might not be able to spell very well, and I might not be able to, I might not have very good punctuation, and my vocabulary might be a little iffy here and there. But when I was in junior high, my reading comprehension level was pretty high in the college bracket. So my reading comprehension level is pretty good. So I can't write, but I can read. And I feel like this bill was aimed to really pussyfoot around a lot of shit and not get down to brass tacks. And for those of you guys that aren't from Oregon and don't know, I'll break it down into the best that I can. And this is a bill that is devoted to greenhouse gases and carbon monoxide, and it's basically a bill that's supposed to try to eliminate a lot of the pollution. So, saying that, I'm 110% on board with finding ways to fuel our economy better and fuel the machines that we work with better. However, it sounds to me like this bill was not properly thought through. My Aunt Doris says that it's been 10 years in the making. But a lot of people's biggest complaints is they are saying that equipment can't be older than year 2007 because that's the year they started making equipment less polluting, I guess. The problem is the people in Oregon are painting, or on the western side of Oregon. I've went through a whole bunch on the split between the western and the eastern side of Oregon quite a bit. And the eastern side is mainly conservatives, the western side is mainly liberal. They're always fucking beefing. They can never get anything done. And this is a pretty good example why, you know. They paint this picture of farmers and ranchers and loggers as all these rich companies, you know. And a lot of them are, you know, but a lot of them are not. Especially the wheat farmers around here. They're humble folks. Hey, look, there's a bald eagle. Rad. They're humble folks, man. And you can drive for about 80 miles in any direction, and it's all farmland. And most of those farms don't have a lot of equipment that's any newer than 2007, you know? A lot of the equipment is 2007 and below, man, and it's not because they're cheap and they don't want to pay for upgrades, because they don't have the fucking money to. A lot of these people are trying to keep their goddamn farms alive. When I come into stuff like this, I always try to see it from both angles. And I think the reason that more people don't try to see it like me is because everything's got to be one extreme or the other, you know? And that goes two ways, you know? A lot of people, they like to, you know, if somebody tries to make a gun law, fucking conservatives want to make it seem like they're going to take all of our guns, you know? And the reason they do that, though, is because they probably would if they could, you know? They want to. There's too many people. I'm just trying. I'm trying to put these words out there the best I can. Because it frustrates me. Because I feel like we do need to start going in the direction of getting better fuel. We need to stop polluting the fuck out of our planet. Global warming is not a myth. The world is not flat. We're killing our planet rapidly. And it doesn't fucking take a genius to fucking see it. And I can't understand for the life of me how anybody can be okay with this or say it's a lie. However, I think it would be a lot easier to fix these problems if we didn't fucking make bullshit laws like this. I mean, it's the same shit with, like, healthcare, you know? I believe that we should all have fucking good healthcare and access to it. We all pay enough taxes that we should have it. And we shouldn't have to fucking worry about it, you know? And everybody praises Obamacare or whatever, you know? But there's still issues. We're still punishing. Now we're punishing people that can't afford it, that don't buy it. We're fucking punishing them for not having health insurance instead of just allowing them to not have it. It's kind of fucking ridiculous. Like I was saying, it's like one extreme to the next. We have to ease our way into these things a little better. And, you know, I read the thing that says it doesn't take effect until 2021, and it's like a 10-year process. But when you're yanking people's equipment out from under them and just expecting them to fucking replace it with brand new fucking equipment. And these farm equipment, it's not like going out and buying a new car. These things, some of these fucking pieces of equipment cost $1 million fucking dollars. Or, you know, fucking 500,000, you know, probably not like quite $1 million. But these pieces of equipment that they want everybody to replace are not fucking minivans. These are very expensive pieces of equipment. And to me, it's a shame. And all it does is cause more tension. And then, on top of that, you know, the Republican senators walked out while they're trying to get this bill fucking done. Which is typical bullshit. And then, you know, I watch all these people bitching on the internet. Oh, you know, fuck them for fucking walking out, and they're the same people that praise people for walking out during the fucking wall. You know, as long as it's Democrats. I get so sick of the double-sided fucking sword, too, where it's like everybody's like praising their party for doing the same shit that they were bitching about the other party doing. You know. But my thing is our tax dollars are paying for these motherfuckers to be in office and to represent our state, and they're not fucking doing it. So I don't understand why anybody would want to praise this kind of behavior. Somebody was saying that like them walking out was the only way to save the bill from being voted on, whatever. And then our lovely governor, who's an absolute fucking piece of work, she got in the office because our good governor, which people will argue with that, but you know, Kitzhoffer got into some sex scandal, so he stepped down and Kate Brown took over. And now she's fucking just running amok. She could not be more apparent that she does not give a fuck about our side of the state. She just sits there and collects our fucking tax dollars and uses it to fucking do whatever on her side of the state. She does not give a fuck about any of us. Our state was flooding. We couldn't get any fucking help. Our side of the state was flooding. We couldn't get any fucking help. You know. Their side gets a little bit of smoke. They call a fucking state of emergency. They don't want us to log. But then they bitch when our fucking forests catch on fire and we can't put them out because they're too congested. It's a mess. But then you give too many people the fucking power to log, they fucking log it until there's nothing left. Middle ground, folks, is what I'm getting at, is we need to find one. We need to start working on better ways to help our environment, but we need to figure out how to do it without fucking over hardworking people. I don't think it's too hard to do. We just got to get rid of the fucking money aspect on both sides. And they're on both sides. I've always said, people always ask me. Sorry, folks, we're going to have to go old school here, man. My fucking phone got too hot sitting up on the holder there. There must have been a lot of sun hitting it or something. So sorry, the last few minutes of this is going to be a little wobbly. And sorry it cut off there. But what I was saying is, you know, everybody thinks that, you know, the Republicans all think I'm a fucking liberal. And the liberals all think I'm a Republican. And yeah, I've always said I don't like politics. I don't like politicians. I don't trust politicians. They're all fucking rich fucking people trying to fucking convince poor people how they should live their lives, in my opinion. I personally think the sooner that we figure that out, the faster we can help ourselves. We got to stop letting people tell us how to live our lives, and we got to stop telling each other how to live our lives. That's my biggest problem, is I don't like people fucking telling me what I can and can't do. And conservatives like to tell me that, you know, my daughter can't have an abortion if she gets raped. And they want to tell me that I need to take her to church. And they want to fucking tell me that, you know, I shouldn't have health care. And they want to tell me all this shit, you know. And liberals want to tell me I shouldn't own a gun. Liberals should tell me that I should have to pay for health care. All the while, we're paying a whole shit ton of money in taxes. And where the fuck's it going? You know? You have people fucking praising Donald Trump for their tax cuts, but at the same time, more people were audited this year during their taxes than in a long fucking time. And they're making less on their tax refunds, you know, but they want to praise Donald Trump. And personally, I just fucking hate the fact that we even need politicians, you know. I'm paying taxes. I just want my shit to go to someplace good, you know. We're paying, Jesus Christ, man. They take like a quarter of my paycheck every fucking month. You know, $500 out of my pocket. I don't make that much money. So I can't imagine what somebody who makes a decent wage has to pay. And I can't fucking imagine what smaller business owners, too. You know, that's another thing that fucking irritates me. Is that you got Amazon not paying any fucking taxes this year at all. People want to argue that's for the best, you know. Alright, well, let them take your money, I guess. And fucking you got a company that makes trillions. And you want to fucking be okay with them not paying a dime in taxes because they create jobs? Well, every other fucking company that starts out creates jobs and they still have to fucking pay taxes. They just make a lot less money. None of it makes any fucking sense to me. Logic does not make any sense. I think people need to stop fucking making shit too complicated. Like I was saying, the biggest problem with that fucking bill is it involves our whole fucking state's well-being. Either way you look at it. You know? And the average person can't understand it when they fucking read it. I can't even count how many times I just read the word carbon in it. Like, let's get to brass tacks. What's the fucking bill about? What's the aim for it to do? And how are we going to get there? And list every detail and readable terms of how you plan on getting there. Because then, if the average person can't read it, it tells me that fucking something's being hidden in there, you know. That's how I feel about it anyways. I think it's how a lot of people feel about it. I feel like they're getting the fucking wool pulled over their fucking eyes. And, you know, and then you got people out there, all these fucking conservatives. Oh, fucking, the old double standard, you know. Fucking boycott fucking Dutch Brothers, boycott Hydro Flask and Nikes. Because they support this bill and blah, blah, blah. Well, maybe you should fucking protest Nike because they use sweatshops to fucking make their goddamn shoes. You know? There's, all you motherfuckers are shopping at Walmart and they've been fucking this country for years. It's hypocritical how you can care about one thing when it affects you and you can't when it doesn't, or you just don't when it doesn't. I read a thing on my good friend Cody High's Facebook page today, and I can't remember exactly how it was put, but it was put nicely. It was a meme, and it said, and I know I say that wrong, I think it's Mimi or Meme or some shit, I don't know, but whatever. It was words on a fucking picture and a fucking posted on Facebook. But it said, just because something is not your problem doesn't mean it's not a problem. I think we need to look at that whenever we try to tackle any kind of bullshit that we have to. And that's both sides. Conservatives do not give a fuck about anybody's problems unless they're theirs. Unless they're pissing right on their fucking goddamn feet. They don't give a shit that cops are fucking killing fucking black people and fucking record numbers. They just act like it doesn't exist. They act like it's, you know, minorities' problems. They don't give a fuck that right now our country's got Hispanic kids in fucking jails. And that, you know, the guards are being accused of raping people. They don't fucking care, because it's not their fucking problem. Oh, shouldn't have hopped the border. Well, you know, maybe you should have some fucking compassion. But at the end of the day, man, I think we just need to be more compassionate, and we need to be more mindful of what's going on. But anyways, I'm going to end this here real quick. I got to get into town, pick up my old lady's prescription, finish doing laundry. I got to go back to work tomorrow. But we're going to do an episode of Double Talking this week with Billy Hood, who will be talking about his upcoming show to promote and help pay for his new album. And I'll be dropping some news on that about a thing that we're going to do to help him out. We're going to have a lot of show announcements coming up. Got some homies coming in from out of state this September, it looks like. So we're going to be doing some shows. And also, for those of you guys that didn't see, I made a post today that I'm looking for campsites that are privately owned. Same with pieces of private property. So, yeah, I mean, I'm looking to do another Ruckus. I'll be honest with you. And at this point in time, I'm not married to the idea. I'm just seeing what's out there. If the good opportunity comes and lands in my lap, I want to do it. But if nothing comes along that seems right, I'm not going to. I'm not going to force it. I'm not going to make any mistakes this time. When it gets done, it's going to be done right. So, but I am in the very, 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 very early stages of trying to get it done right. So, for you, those of you guys that want to see Ruckus in the Boonies come back, it might happen. I'm working on it. So yeah, that's about it, folks. Be sure to hit like on this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And share the hell out of it. All of our links are in the comment thread. Right now we're running a crazy special on the website or online store. Crazy special. And on top of that, if you go to the Facebook group Club Ruckus, there is a discount code in there to get 25% off on top of the shit's already on sale. So, trying to re-up the merch, trying to put some new stuff out. Go watch the videos that I posted on Club Ruckus to find out what we're doing. We're doing a lot of cool shit over there. So, go join Club Ruckus. Like all of our pages. Like Ruckus In The Records, like Dog by Harris. Also, I want to give a shout out to our endorsement, Dirtbag Clothing. Go hit them up. That's about it, motherfuckers. You guys have a fucking good day. Remember, I'm not a therapist. I just play one on YouTube. I'll see you motherfuckers when I see you. I haven't been doing... I don't want to say next week because I've been waiting. Been letting things stack up a little bit. I've been kind of busy, too. So, like I said, I've been letting things set up and then fucking trying to do better quality shows. And I'm trying to do research, too. Like I said, I'm sorry. I apologize that I didn't do more research on that, but I did a bunch of research on that bill, and I could not find shit on it that was even fucking readable. So, like I said, I feel like if there's going to be a bill that's passed, it should be readable for the common person. So anyways, I'll see you guys later. Have a good week. Represent for Westside. All that good shit. Later, guys.